All right, yesterday I got a bunch of these M&C locks in, like almost 30 of them in a group buy. Spent most of the day yesterday sending them out, and have 4 for myself, and spent the rest of the day trying to get it fit into this padlock. Um, so I'll probably pick them in this padlock. I haven't tried picking in the padlock yet, so I've picked this one once outside. This one is a M&C M2. It's the Matrix 2-star version of the Matrix. And the key has bitting on the right side here for a sidebar, but it doesn't have a sidebar or any sliders in it. That could make it compatible for like a more expensive, higher security lock and just have a compatible key. But the 3-star version of this does have a sidebar, but it's on the left side, so I don't know what that's about. In any case, here's the padlock. I rarely do padlocks, but this lock has 6 pins across the top. The key pins are standard key pins, but they do have, I think, a little bit of taper on the top, so it pushes you to overset very easily, which can happen because you're looking to push on the drivers they look kind of like gin bottles. They're spools, and you're pushing it looking for counter rotation, and so if you're pushing the key pin, you'll get counter rotation, and then you'll drop all your pins. So for tension, I'll use this piece of music wire here. Let's see if I can get out of the way. If I reach all the way around, I can get out of the way of the camera. It's uncomfortable. Basically looking for loose pins until we get to a false set, and then we'll have to do some counter rotation to get those spools out, but it's very small counter rotation. All right, so 1, and we have to watch that we're not trying to push on a key pin and oversetting and dropping everything. So 2 is loose, 3 is loose, 4 is loose, 5 seems to be binding. There we go, click out of 5, and 6 seems to be binding. They'll click out of 6, and now they're loose. Come back to beginning. 1 is binding very slightly. That's loose. 2 is binding kind of slightly. It's fairly loose. Right. 2 is all right. 1 is now binding again. It was very loose previously, but not anymore. 3 seems to be binding on number 3. All right, click from 3. 4 seems to be binding. Little click from 4. 5 is loose. 6 is loose. Come back to beginning again. 1 is loose. 2 is hard to tell. 2 is really high up, so it's a bit hard to tell. See if I can get on it. Can't really tell with 2. 3. Everything else feels loose, so either something's overset or it is number 2 that I need to push on. So let's try to get on 2. Pushing up on 2, letting off tension a little while I push up on the pin. That definitely feels like an overset on 2. So the key pins are not torpedoes or anything, so you can let off tension a little until you drop something down and then start over. Not completely start over, you have some already set, but you should have dropped the overset. All right, 3 click, 4 little click, and nothing there. 1 is loose. I picked it outside of the padlock, and the feedback's a little different with the padlock. It's a little bit harder to feel the feedback. I don't know what it is. It's not a sprung padlock or anything like that, so it should pick exactly the same. So I'm not sure what's going on. It's probably camera. It's always the camera's fault. Okay, 2 feels like it's binding. So I lifted that up some. Still feels like it's binding though. I could use a deeper, okay, 2 seems to give me a click there finally. 3 is loose. I think this is 4 binding. Click there. That might actually have been a little counter rotation. So that might have gotten past the spool. All right, 1 is binding now. And so I'm guessing I'll get some counter rotation from 1. There we go, click from 1, 2. Man, I can't feel 2. I would like to use a deeper hook, but I didn't bring one down. All right, 3 feels binding. Click there. 4 feels binding. No. 5, no. 6, no. Back to 1. It seems like 1 dropped out of the, dropped back into the spool. So 1, there's a little click out of 1. 2. If I can get on 2. What am I pushing on? I think 1 dropped again. No, 1 is set. This lock should not take anywhere near this long. Checking further back. So 6 is, all the ones back there seem loose, so it's got to be number 2 that I'm having a hard time with. It's got to be number 2, which I think is up here. There we go, click from 2. And 1 is binding again. Click from 1. 3. Looks like I dropped 3 again. Click from 3 and we're open. Wow. And there's the shackle for anybody who cares. So that took way longer than I had planned. But you can see that lifting some of the further ones in the back out of their spooled area dropped 1 and 2 a couple times. Maybe 1 a couple times, maybe 2 once. So can't lock this up without putting the shackle back in. So we'll go ahead and turn on the autofocus. We'll open up some lights over here. They were reflecting off the face. All right, get this out of here. It's a nice beefy 60 mil padlock with ball bearings, so you can't shim it. But it is picked, so let's go ahead and take this hex screw out of here. So there's a hex screw there, and that allows this to come out. There's an actuator here. I won't show this on every video, but on this one I'll show. So there's an actuator here, and that interacts with ball bearing back there. There should be 2 of them, but I don't know if the second one comes out. Yeah, the second one seems to be retained by something, the one that goes here. But this one is the shackle retainer, so now you can take the shackle out. Then you got this bit, just to show. There's a thing here where the screw for the padlock goes in. This is a piece that comes with the padlock here. And there's a little like dumbbell piece that goes in here that stops this from coming out, but you have to hammer that in. And it seems to be held just fine with just the screw here. So you put that dumbbell in to hold this piece in, and then you screw it to keep it nice and tight. But if you take this piece out, it's just a screw. And I don't need to show this on all of them. I'll just show it on this one. This is just to put in the padlock. So once you get that out, then you can take this piece out. And I didn't bring the dumbbell piece down, but this is, you could just pick it like this. You could use this in a door. It's very modular. But we'll go ahead and lock it back up. There we go. It's got a clip on the back, so we'll take the clip off. Like that. Bring a pinning mat over. There we go. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Make sure we don't lose that ball bearing and all these little bits we don't need. All right. Let's zoom in a little. And got this guy. So no sidebar or anything to worry about, so just a standard gut. Got a follower here. And slide her out. There's our key pins. All it shear with the key. I don't think this is ranked. It feels, I would probably say if you're doing the Lockpicker United belt system, it's probably going to be around a green belt lock. It is a little tricky because the oversetting of these key pins does drop everything, but I don't know if I'd quite rank it blue belt level. There is nothing special on the pin chambers there. Looking at these, the top, you can see the top is, hopefully you can see, the top there is kind of tapered, and that's what drives the overset, and which is really good on this lock, because if you hit the overset, then it's going to drop those gins down, right? Or I keep calling them gins, but because they look kind of like gins bottle spools, but I don't know. It's just it's a spool, and then this here is tapered. It's like tapers out, right? So what you're doing is you're pushing up on the key pin. So this is going. You're going to drop into here, and then that kind of taper is going to counter rotate, but also give you the same feeling as pushing on one of these key pins counter rotating. So the first ones are steel for anti-drill. There's also some anti-drill pins in the on the plug there, and also some more I think in the Bible here. These are hollow top key pins, so that the spring can drop into them, and they're pretty long and strong springs. They pop up into the keyway a decent amount. Like on a Schlage, a lot of times those don't even clear the Bible. So and they do have different length key pins in here. I mean, it's not key pins, of course, different length key pins. Driver pins for some sort of either pin stack balancing or bump resistance or something. So there's all that. Nothing special in there. Take a quick close up. Yeah. Those are all the same, just the first one's in steel. So 6-pin, that's the M&C M2, also the Matrix SKG2 star. And hopefully I'll get the rest of them picked this week and on video. All right, thanks everyone.